Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashni.
Can you tell us about the memorandum of understanding that was signed between H2 Green Steel and Anglo American?
I'm very happy about these memos. This is about the fourth one that's come through, and this time it's with H2 of Sweden, which is determined to bring in green hydrogen steel immediately they can. And so they're looking to work with someone who's got high quality iron ore. And great for South Africa is that it always ends up at Kumba iron ore, where the lumpy ore has got really appeal, especially as we move towards a new form of steelmaking. But what is more important is the seriousness with which Anglo and its partners are taking climate change and the way you have to emerge, and it's a real issue of the day. And every time they do one of these deals, one remembers, that we've got to take climate change seriously. You've got to move towards not burning coal anymore, even if it is coking coal with steel, and you've got to go to something that is environmentally friendly. And thank goodness we've got this green hydrogen option. And I think that the route that they're going, direct iron reduction, might eventually involve on-site green hydrogen plants being part of steelmaking. As when we look into the future, this is going to be an integrated way of doing things, and it will be the correct way to do it. And I'm glad South Africa is so involved with this through Anglo American and Kumba Iron Ore.
Now, an ENSafrica webinar recently heard that the new trackless mobile machineries regulations published 5 months ago are one of mining's burning issues.
Yeah. Against the background of this, we've seen a lot of deaths pop up through what they call TMMs, which is trackless mining machinery. And you can't blame the Department of Mineral Resources for bringing in some regulations as fast as possible. When we had 17 fatalities last year, 16 the year before, we now, having got beyond the fall of ground, and we've started to manage the fall of ground and stop fatalities around that, we've got to look now at TMMs. They are the ones that are causing the fatalities. So it is harsh on the companies because it came down on them very quickly. But I think they've got to respond very, very fast, along with the original equipment manufacturers. It seems that there's just no silver bullet that they can bring in, because they've got to stop killing pedestrians underground and also stop colliding with themselves underground. And that is going to involve these collision avoidance systems. But I'm sure with technology and working together and collaborating, they will be able to do this. But perhaps some of them need a bit of time actually to get going on this. And I'm sure that there will be that latitude given to them. But at the same time, they want these fatalities to be brought to an end.
Lastly, Martin, tell us about Australia's advancements in smelterless, low-energy platinum processing.
Smelterless technology is something we should really be looking at very, very seriously. It's interesting to see that the pioneer in platinum group metals mining in Australia is already looking at this. They want to do something smelterless. They want something very low energy. Well, I said to them, that should appeal to South Africans because we need to bring out the energy. But why should it appeal to a company like yourselves in Western Australia, where you don't have these energy restraints, you don't have load shedding? So no, they said they determined from the outset of making platinum group metals there to ensure that they are very low energy and to ensure that their carbon footprint is very, very small. Because they've also got to consider, the logistics side of their business. They're going to have to either do something different on site to make sure that it's not so expensive to move those metals, particularly if they've got to move in concentrate form. So they're going all out ahead of mining to make sure that they will have something that is very low energy. But we should be looking at it more here. And I think that Keith Liddell and Pallinghurst have been doing this with the Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa. And as we know, going up now in Northwest Province is Sedi Bello, where a plant that is being put in with cal processing will be smelterless and will use 19% of the energy. Now, I think that there should be more attention focused on this. I can remember journalists and particularly Mining Weekly asking questions a long time ago at open forums in platinum group metal scenarios. And the CEO seemed very open, to going, but the moment they transferred, the replies to technical people seem to have hang-ups. This CAL process has really gone through pilot projects, it's almost at commercial level before it goes through with this plant. They've really done their homework, and one imagines they're going to produce in a smelterless way, which will be of huge benefit to South Africa. When you think not only platinum group metals, but if you can do this with iron ore, manganese, chrome, ferrochrome, I mean, it's going to just release the demand on our electricity, which is in such short supply, that it will be dramatic. So one would have assumed that all the companies, particularly platinum group metals companies, would have gone running to see how this is going to happen so that they can bring it in as fast as possible. But I don't see that urgency, although I do see them continuing to look at it. They want to see it work in Northwest, but it would be great if they could do something in advance of that to make sure that if it does work, they can go flat out into doing it. So hopefully they will take this seriously, and we will also have smelterless technology here, as the Australians are trying to do before they even produce an ounce of platinum group metals.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. To subscribe to Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly, please email subscriptions at creamermedia.co.za.